Good morning, sub-race lovers. I want to take the opportunity to present you the Paradoxa raceboard. The Paradoxa already made some rumor, taking 2 World Championship titles in the latest ICF World Championships in Thailand. And you will figure out a couple riders that already have a Paradoxa, which came lately in the first batch of delivery. So take, for example, ask Olivier Comazzi in Switzerland to try out his board. I have seen last weekend he has won his first race on the Paradoxa 21, or Norm Webber, who was competing on the Paradoxa 22 in Comacho in the ICF World Ranking event. Norman's performance has been impressive, especially in the sprints. He took a second place, beating absolute top guys like Rai Taguchi, who I guess is a Weisner champion. Anyway, how comes that? Let's dive into the Paradoxa, the technology and the shape. In regards to technology, the Paradoxa is a unique product. It's built out of unidirectional carbon fiber in a process where we are using a pre-impregnated unidirectional fiber that is bonded under heat and pressure in a mold. The end result is a board that is way stiffer and much more lighter and way more durable than anything existing in the sub-race market. Why is the stiffness important? Try out with your board. If you have a conventional board, it's styrofoam with a bit of carbon and glass fiber, and you jump on your board, you will see that the nose will start to vibrate. If you do this with a Paradoxa, nothing else will happen and the board sinks, the board comes up. So every stroke is not coming into kind of flex or vibration, so it will push you forward. You will take all the energy to get faster. Why is lightweight important? The lightweight is super important at the start. Given the first strokes, you will have an advantage. First strokes at the start, always first strokes at buoy turns. Once the board has speed, you will not figure out a big difference in speed between a lightweight and a more heavyweight board, but you will always figure out the advantage of lightweight when you are trying to catch up and you have to sprint. It's working much better. Talking about the shape details of the Paradoxa, the most interesting part is the super low stance. Our standing area is around 3 centimeters below water surface. This gives you an incredible stability. But on top, you will have a much better leverage in your paddling. The reason for this is you can shorten the length of your paddle about those 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 centimeters, the difference to your old board. And what happens is that your bottom hand is more near to the blade. This gives you leverage, so you will have less exhausting paddling for the long distance, or for the sprints you will get more power to your blade. The other shape detail is that we are working with special contours in rails, in rockers, in the outline to create the most fast board and the most stable board. So it's not only about, say, in picture perfect conditions to create a very fast board. I guess this is easy. The most difficult thing is create a fast board that can handle difficult situations. Difficult situations, you would face them at the start line. You won't be always number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you are in the pack, you will get troubled water. Windy conditions on lakes, maybe boats, open ocean, whatever it is, this will bring result. So let's dive into the details and I'll show you the board. Here you can see the raw naked carbon material of the race board. It's the black part on top of this board. It's unidirectional pre-preg carbon laminated in autoclave, bonded under heat and pressure. This material is ultra strong and super lightweight and very stiff. What is really different to anything else is we don't need to use paint or gel coat or anything to seal the top material. If we want to go for it like this, we can keep it out of the mold straight in this naked version. The advantage is that a board like this here in 23 inch in naked carbon with just a little stripe in the front, the weight will be just up or below 9 kilogram. If we go for painted designs, like complete side painted, bottom painted, the weight will raise up, estimated 1 kilogram. Having a look at the top shape details of the Paradoxa, you will see a sleek nose entry, and the board does have a regular width in the front part. I feel this is important for stability. Then it comes into this super deep dugout, standing position below water surface. It's possible because we use these drainage systems here. It's a valve, so water cannot come in, but water can flow out. What is also an advantage in this board model is, if you look at the shape of the front cockpit, you have a lot of space to work with your feet. So if you are an elite paddler going for 14 plus kilometers speed per hour, you can stay with your feet pretty far to the front to find the best balance in the board. And this is something that is not possible in some shapes I've seen in the market. They build cockpits which are more rounded like this here, but they will limit the space for the feet. At the end, it's also important that the nose length is long enough so that the board is not digging too much into the water. So the magic part in the shape process is finding the sweet spots between all these arrangements and positioning. What is unique, or not unique, but something special in this board is the S-curve style standing area. So it's quite a good placement of flat area here to move and work with your feet. And then the board is going up here and lowers to the end again. So it's like an S-curve a little bit. And this S-curve is doing something when you are standing with your feet in the pivot turn on top of the fin. You sink your tail, and the tail will come up to the water line, but water will not enter the dugout cockpit. So this is an advantage to keep the speed and keep the advantage of the lightweight models. Let's take a look at the Paradoxa bottom design. The nose entry is slicing and sharp, and then the board goes into a round hull in the front part. Round is good for the ability to steer the board, and the rails are very round. It comes into a concave part in the standing area and a flat part in the tail. Let's flip the board around to see this a bit better. So here you can see the sharp nose. You can see the round and soft edges in the front part, super round, which gives the ability to have the freedom to steer with your pedal strokes. And this also gives you a secondary stability and the opportunity to take care for the direction in waves, so the board will not lock. You are the driver, you are in the driver's seat. In the standing area, we are having a subtle concave here, which still, and this is very important, round rails in the standing area. The advantage is the round rails are giving you secondary stability, and the flat part in the bottom gives flat part with subtle concave, gives you the first stability. Why a concave? This little concave, we feel, adds a little bit extra lift to the board at higher speeds. It doesn't suck so much energy out of you. If you go speeds like 10 kilometers plus, you feel the board is more loose than other boards. When the water is running through the tail, the shape changed a bit. It's going to get super flat for a perfect water release. The rails are changing in the last part of maybe 90 centimeters to very hard edges. Here you can see super hard edges, and for the perfect water release. There is not much wakes this board creates. The overall outline is pretty straight rails, and this gives, given the fact with the hard rail edges in the tail, a perfect a board that is tracking perfectly. But to keep it loose as well, we changed the position of the fin and placed it much further to the front than most competitor boards. I guess competitor boards will have their fin boxes more like this positioning here, and ours is much more in the front. There's two reasons for that. One reason is to give some more loose feeling, but the board is steering great straight, but you still have the opportunity to change direction just in pedal technique. The other opportunity is you do not have to walk that much further back to make your turn. So you place your feet just on the other side, on the top of the fin, and the board will make a nice turn. Another nice detail is we are using covers for our drainage tubes, and they are that subtle that you cannot really see them. The good news is it's faster because the water flows without much disturbance through the drainage area. And the other advantage is it sucks out water faster here through this little part here, which accelerates the water's drainage. Having a look at the rocker line, I want to keep the most important things secret, not that others will copy it. But you can see it's a very straight, low rocker design in the front part. It's kind of a flat part in the center, and there is another part with more lift in the tail. Rocker is super important, and you can destroy performance of a board just misshaping it about a couple millimeter. So what we try to do is building these boards built on paddler's weight. I'm coming back to this. I love sub racing, and some of you know myself from national and international races. I'm 55 years old, and so it's important to have the best board to save energy and get some good results. Coming back to the talk about the rocker line and why is it so critical in the design process, and from experience, I figured out that it's absolute bullshit to teach the people that there are boards that are good for 60 kilogram to 95 kilogram. You will see this in some posts from competitors' models, and what happens is sub racers tend to choose the wrong dimension for themselves. My point of view is I create boards that fit for paddlers in a range of 15 kilogram. So the Paradoxa is available in 4 dimensions. For paddlers below 70 kilogram, I suggest the Paradoxa 21. Then the rocker line is absolute perfect, and the water release is exactly at the bottom edge of the tail. The board will make the least wake and will have the least drag. For paddlers above 70 kilogram up to 85 kilogram, it's the 22. For those 80 to 95 kilogram, it's the 23 model. And for those above 95 kilogram, it's the 24.5. And this is the only model that is a little bit different. It will have, in proportion, a little bit pulled in tail and a bit more rocker in the tail. So it might not be for lightweight paddlers the fastest board in the flat, but it will give you a good possibility to win races in difficult conditions. If you have some more questions, just get in touch with me, as well as if you want to join the army of amateurs. This is how we call the light team. We are all not professional paddlers, but we aim to catch up professional results. So we have some special packages for active race participants. Yeah, get in touch with me and see you on the water.